new episode of What's for Dinner. Been working all day, been canning some jam, and I'm thinking, what am I going to make for dinner? But I don't really want to go to the store. So, I thought, you know what? I have everything. I think I have everything I need to make some Brunswick stew. So let's throw some together, and I'll tell you what I did. I took a bag of frozen chicken breast that I had in the freezer that I really needed to cook, and I threw it frozen in my pressure cooker. And I put some water in there and some chicken bouillon and some seasonings. I put some Mrs. Dash and some seasoned salt and some sea salt and some pepper in there. And I just let them cook until they were soft enough to shred. So I cooked them for about 20 minutes in the pressure cooker. And this is what I did. This is what they look like after I shred them. So this is a whole bag. So it's like 3 pounds of shredded chicken breast. I'm making a big pot, so don't have a cow. I've got 2 very large ribs of celery that I have roughly chopped. I have 2 small green peppers from my garden that I have chopped, and 3 very small onions that I chopped. In here I have a cup each of frozen corn, lima beans, and okra. And over here I have 4 medium-sized red potatoes that I've diced. We're going to put in some garlic. I have 2 cans of stewed tomatoes and 2 cans of diced tomatoes. And we're also going to use some Worcestershire sauce. Now, I have about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil heating up on the stove. Oh, and what Rick just showed you also, this is the vessel that I pressure cooked the chicken in. And I took the liquid, I left the liquid in there because it's full of good flavor. I added about 2 cups of water to it. And we're going to use that in the stew after a while. So I've got this oil heating up on the stove, and I'm going to toss in all of the fresh veggies. We're going to toss in the onions and the peppers, and the celery, and maybe the equivalent of, I don't know, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. I think it's to your taste. And I'm going to saute these, and while they're sauteing, I'm going to give you a little bit of a history lesson. Brunswick stew. The origins are somewhat unknown, but it is known that there are 2 areas that argue over being the originator of Brunswick stew. Brunswick County, Virginia claims to be the originator of this dish, as well as Brunswick, Georgia. Brunswick, Georgia actually has a monument with a big cast iron cauldron and a plaque claiming that the first Brunswick stew was made on an island off of the coast in 1883. Brunswick County, Virginia, it claims to be the other originator of this dish. And it is said that a hunting party of state officials devised this recipe while they were out on a hunt, and they fell in love with it, so they called it Brunswick stew and they ran with it. So, it is also known that Thomas Jefferson has written that Brunswick stew is his all-time favorite dish. So, this could be like your little homage to Thomas Jefferson. Of course, Thomas Jefferson was the very first governor of Virginia, and he proclaimed to be very avid fan of Brunswick stew. Brunswick stew also, by making it with chicken, and I'm also going to use a little bit of smoked sausage, which I didn't show you, but I am going to take it out of the fridge and slice it up. Brunswick stew traditionally can be made from anything. In the Virginia, North Carolina area, is historically had chicken and ham or salt pork in it. In the further down south, South Carolina, Georgia, etc., it's traditionally has pork and beef and sometimes chicken. However, Thomas Jefferson writes about Brunswick stew as having chicken, salt pork, squirrel, and rabbit in it. So I suppose this is one of those anything goes kind of one pot stews that you can eat that was made a lot and they gave it a name. So, you know, whatever father brought back from the hunt for that day is what Mama put in the pot. And everyone liked it because that's what they had to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and saute these veggies off, and I'll be back as soon as we're ready to put something else in the pot. Okay, we're back, and you can see that our vegetables have sauteed down a bit. Those peppers are softening up, and so is the celery. The onion is starting to become translucent. I did turn the heat down to medium. I had it on medium high. Now let's add our tomatoes. This 2 cans of stewed tomatoes. And that kind of mimics the flavors we've already put in here with the onion and the celery and the green pepper, because that's really a base for stewed tomatoes. And I have 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Put that and bring that back up to temp. At this point, I'm going to add my frozen veggies in here. Stir it up. And then I'm going to bring this up to heat again. I'm going to bring it up to a simmer, and then we'll go ahead and add in some more liquid, because those frozen vegetables are going to render a bit of liquid. I don't want to have too much in here, but I don't want to have too little either. So we have the chicken broth off to the side that we cooked the cooking liquor that we cooked the chicken breasts in earlier. So I'm going to go, and when this comes up to the right temperature, I'm going to come back and show you what goes next. Okay, we brought it up to temp. I threw a cornbread in the oven, and now we're going to continue. Here's a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. This is very typical ingredient in most Brunswick stew recipes. I've seen other Brunswick stew recipes that have Worcestershire sauce and vinegar and ketchup and barbecue sauce and mustard, like yellow mustard. So basically this is kind of however you like, and some of them have liquid smoke in them. I'm making a more traditional Virginia style Brunswick stew, except that I am using the potatoes, which is more traditionally an Eastern North Carolina addition to this stew. So here are 4 medium-sized red potatoes. I just washed them and I diced them up. I didn't even take the skins off of them because the red potato skins are so thin that it's not even going to be a problem. This smells fantastic already. I'm going to grab this broth, and I'm going to add about that much. You don't want to add too much. The okra and then the potato starch is really going to thicken up this stew. Plus, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the chicken and the sausage in here. And then we're going to let it cook until the potatoes are done. Put it all in there. And we're going to have lots of Brunswick stew.
Bigger pot.
We need a bigger pot. And I'm going to add my smoked sausage. And like I said before, this is my own addition. Traditionally, you could add ham. You could leave it out altogether and just add liquid smoke. You could add salt pork.
Rabbit.
You could add rabbit or squirrel. So basically, this is whatever you want to put in this stew. I'm going to add a little more liquid, just so everything has enough room to kind of mingle around in there. And then I'm going to bring this up to a simmer. I'm going to simmer it until the potatoes are cooked. And then we're going to fix you a bowl of Brunswick stew, traditional to the south. And I'll cut you up a big old slab of cornbread to eat with it. And we're going to eat good tonight, folks. Evidently, we're going to eat good for the rest of the week. So, we'll be back as soon as this is ready. Okay. This has simmered for about 30 minutes, and the potatoes are softened, and
And it is so freaking good.
I added an extra tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce to it because I put it in a larger pot and I wanted to use the rest of the stock that was in the pressure cooker and I didn't want to waste it. So I put it in the larger pot and it's perfect. The consistency is perfect. So I'm going to dish you up a nice bowl of this. Put some broth there on the bottom. And I already have a nice slab of cornbread sitting there for you. I'll get you a spoon. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that looks fantastic. Rick's already had a little taste, so he knows it's good.
I vouch for it.
All right. Brunswick Stew, North Carolina, and Noreen style. I hope you try this, and I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see ya.